Yeah, sure.
Okay. This is Animal Paradise. We are here at my brother's farm. This is Benin City, Edo State, Nigeria. My brother has some questions. He's having doubts. No, he's trying to go into goat farming, but he has some questions to be answered. So he said he wanted to ask me the questions this morning. I said, okay, let me make a video out of the question. Peradventure somebody will learn something out of it. This is Animal Paradise. All right, brother, let us go. What question are you having?
First and foremost,
Be a little bit louder.
Yes, my name is Stanley Agokian.
Okay.
So I want to go into this farming.
Goat farming.
Goat farming.
Yeah.
So my dad. So the question I want to ask here is this: How do I know the type of different species of goats?
Okay. Different species of goats.
Yes.
First of all, in the foreign space, we have a lot of goats. But the ones that is being attracted down to Nigeria is the Kalahari, the Boa, and the Savannah. Those are the foreign breed that we are majorly attracting down to Nigeria. And because of, should I say, that's the one that is good for, they grow faster,
Okay.
they grow bigger on time, and then the Kalahari is tougher. It has a way of surviving, and where other goats will fall, he will survive. That's that for that. But meanwhile, there are other breeds of goats all over the world. Okay. I think we have a Nubian goats towards the South American, Jamaica, Brazil. They are major on that. And anybody can have any species. You can search out for it. Any area where is plenty or many, you can import to yourself. Okay. But back here in Nigeria, we have three major breeds. The Nigerian dwarf. Inside the Nigerian dwarf, you have the Cameroon dwarf, okay, which is a little bit higher than the Nigerian dwarf, but it is not a crossbreed of the Nigerian dwarf and the Sokoto red. Okay. Inside that same Nigerian dwarf, there is a crossbreed of Sokoto red and Nigerian dwarf. When you cross it, the offspring is a little bit higher. Then inside the Nigerian dwarf, there is another goat called the pygmy goat. Most Nigerians don't know it as pygmy goats. They just say, I find that goat where they born three, where they born three, where they born three. Okay. That is a pygmy goat. Okay. But it takes time to grow. Okay. When you are training it, sometimes it will take 3 years before it will not emerge. Its body will come out and it become big. Are you seeing it? Yeah. But when it starts producing, it will be producing sometimes three kids, sometimes 4, sometimes 5. And then when it's pregnant, you will see the stomach so close to the ground. It cannot even pass the step without the stomach touching the step. Wow. That's a pygmy goat. Okay. They are always wider and shorter. Okay. Very big. And when they give birth, 3. That is on the Nigerian dwarf circle. If inside that Nigerian dwarf, there are still some other varieties. The Nigerian dwarf that is available at the Yoruba region, the west, is a little bit different from the Nigerian dwarf that is available at the east, the Igbo local goat. Okay. They have a little slight difference, but they are still under Nigerian dwarf. Then we now have the Sokoto red, which I always like to call the Nigerian Savannah. Okay. The Sokoto red. That one, we know them. We have Sokoto red, we have Zaria brown, we have Meduguri this, that. All of them are just Hausa goats. Okay. Are you seeing it? That's what we normally call the Hausa goats. And then there is another variety of goats called the Sahel. The Sahel came from the Niger region into Nigeria, but right now we call it the Fulani goats. Okay. So we have the local goat, which is the Nigerian dwarf. We have the Hausa goat, which is the Sokoto red. We have the Fulani goat, which is the Sahel. It's taller, longer, and it grows faster. It can be, a male Sahel can be as big as half a cow. You know, a very big cow. Yeah. If you cut it into 2, yeah, a male Sahel can be as high and big as that. And so that's the breed that we're having in Nigeria. What we are doing right now is to use a Boa or a Kalahari to cross all these breeds I've mentioned in Nigeria. Okay. We had a seminar in February called Genetic Improvements. Okay. Under the genetic improvements, we want to improve on the genetics of the Nigerian dwarf, the Sokoto red. It takes time to grow. Okay. Sometimes you have a Nigerian dwarf. If you start a goat farming with Nigerian dwarf 100%, it will take you 3 years before you start reaping the dividends. Okay. But if you cross a Nigerian dwarf with a Boa, in 10 months, that goat will be big. Wow. Are you seeing it? Yeah. In 10 months, it will be big. If you cross it with a Kalahari, in 10 months, it will be big. We have a program going on now for those that are interested. You can buy a pregnant Nigerian dwarf, that is crossed with a Kalahari. The program is going on. If you're interested, call me. Anywhere you are in Nigeria, you get a pregnant Nigerian dwarf with a Kalahari cross, and then it will give birth to F1 for you. That's that for different type of breeds available.
Thank you very much. So the other question I want to ask here is this. The second one is what differentiates between Olaha goats and this I don't know. I think
Oleha goats.
Yes, Oleha goats.
Yeah.
And this
farm
goat. Yeah.
Okay, please allow me. We are Bini people, so Bini will come out as we speak, and we are proud of our culture. Oleha goat means market, market goats. Yeah. That's the two type of goats available. We have breeding goats, and then we have slaughter animals or slaughter goats. Slaughter goats are the ones that are in the market for slaughter. We want to kill it and eat it. So you don't actually care how long it will last. You don't actually care so many things about it. All you care is that it has meat. It is big and it has meat. But the breeding stock does not have to be so. A slaughter goat, you will not buy a small goat for a slaughter goat because it's not going to have much meat. You buy a big animal. Are you seeing it? Whether he's sick or he's not sick, whether you see catarrh in his nose or you don't see catarrh in his nose, you're going to eat it when you get home. So you don't bother about the catarrh. He can even be coughing. As long as it's alive, for you to cut his neck in the next 24 hours, is okay. That's slaughter animals. They are available in the markets. And sometimes some of them may not have diseases, but the moment they get to market, they will come in contact with diseases, they become bad. You cannot use them anymore. But we have breeding goats. Breeding goats are animals you want to use to breed. You want to train them for them to increase in size and also increase in number. So if you buy a breeding goat of 10 months, you want it to increase in size. If it was 20 kg, you want it to get to 40 kg in size by feeding it. And then you want it to turn to 2 or 3 by giving birth. That's breeding goats. The difference between the two is this. Those in the market, they have diseases. The ones in the farm, they are void of diseases. When you get a goat, anywhere you get, but we advise that people should not get goats from the market. Get from farms like this. This place is a farm. It's coming up. Are you seeing it? When you get a goat, that goat has been quarantined. It has been vaccinated. It has been taken through a process of deworming. It has been prepared for breeding. When you get that goat into your farm, if you want to start a farm, you buy breeding stocks. When you get them into your farm, they will produce for you. They will not give you problems. They will not be sick. They will not die. Like this season now, you see all vaccinated goats are doing well, but non-vaccinated goats are having sicknesses. They have cough, they have catarrh because they have not been vaccinated. So breeding stock, you buy them, you quarantine them, you vaccinate them. Then you take them through a daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly routine maintenance. Daily means giving them appropriate food and oral multivitamins. Weekly means giving them injectable multivitamins. Monthly means injectable multivitamins and dewormers. There are some animals you deworm weekly. Monthly, you deworm animals. Quarterly, you deworm them. Then maybe in 6 months, you vaccinate them. Every 6 months, you vaccinate them regularly. Those are breeding animals. When you do a mother goat like that, when it gives birth to the kids, it will pass a very good immune system, immune to the offspring. So the offspring will be strong and healthy, just like Ajebota and Ajepako.
Okay.
That's the simple way of answering it.
Okay. Thank you very much. The question number 3 is this. How do I feed this goat?
How do you feed the goat?
Yes.
Okay. Like we always say, the first thing to buy is not goat if you want to start a goat farming.
Okay.
The first thing to buy is feed. Get a place, plant grasses. If you don't want to plant grasses, make sure you have a place where you'll be getting feed. Either you want to use cassava peels, you want to convert them like we are doing, convert them to HQCP. We get cassava peels, we wash them, we grind them, we press the water away, then we fry them because it's rainy season now, we don't get sun to dry them. We fry them in a hot pan, it get dried, we bag them. After frying, you keep them on the floor for some time to get cold, then you bag them. It can last you for 3 months, 4 months, or even more than that. You stock feed down. If you can't do that, buy feed. There are a lot of caras. There's what we call caras in Nigeria. Caras is where outside people are selling animals, animal markets. They have feeds there. You can buy and stock. down, 10 bags, 20 bags. You can plant grasses. You clear a portion of land, you plant grasses. You can make silage. You can make hay when there is sun. You make hay. If you cannot make hay, you make silage and you keep. And then one of the best thing about goats is that they eat human leftovers. Something that is a waste to us, that's what they eat. Your goat can do well by feeding from the uncompleted building near your house. They can eat the things that is not needed there and they'll be okay. So that's how to feed them. And then when you buy feed, let me complete that statement. The first thing to buy is feed. The second thing to buy is vaccine. While the third thing to buy is goat. So you want to go into goat farming, don't just say, hey, I want to go into goat farming. You just go and buy goat. The goat will die. Okay. You buy feed, you make arrangements with vaccine. If you don't vaccinate your goats, they don't have future. Goats that are not vaccinated doesn't have future. Any outbreak, they are gone. Your money is gone. Your investment is wasted. That's that, sir.
Okay. This number 4, you have already said it all. I said, let me just come again.
Okay, sir.
I said, how often do I need to vaccinate them? So, which you have just mentioned.
Yes, every 6 months. By the books, it's 1 year. But if you follow 1 year program, the goats will have symptoms in 8 months. Okay. So you follow 6 months program.
Let me go to number 5 question.
Yes, sir.
It said this species of goat, what is their produce? Which you have mentioned that some give up to 3,
yes,
2, and
so on and so forth.
And so forth.
The first time a goat is killed in is 1.
Okay.
If you get a goat, the first time it want to give birth is 1.
Okay.
The second time 2. From there can be 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. Okay. Some used to give birth to 6. I've seen a goat that gave birth to 6.
Really?
Yes, Nigerian dwarf.
Nigerian dwarf.
Gave birth to 6.
Seen, but I've seen I've seen 3.
3, yes.
Mostly I have seen 3.
Yes.
3, 4. 3, 4.
That's
yes.
Why if you're having a farm,
yeah,
the more your goats stay in your farm, the more profitable it becomes. Okay. If that goat that gave birth to 6 now must have given birth more than 6 or 7 times in its lifetime.
Yeah.
Before it cannot give birth to 6. And so let the animals stay, let the breeding animals stay in your farm. Okay. The more they stay, the more they'll be producing for you.
Okay. Okay. So the question number 7 is this. So at what period does it good for these goats to be disposed?
At what? The question is, when do I start selling my goats?
Yes.
That's the question.
Yes.
You start selling your goats when you are broke.
Okay.
That's the answer. When you are broke, that's when you start selling your goats.
Really?
Yes. Because you can start with 50 goats. There becomes 200. The more you see them, the more you'll be liking them. Okay. The more every human being is proud, especially when you are succeeding.
Yeah.
You'll be fulfilled. When you have 50 goats, you want to make them 100. When you have 100 goats, you want to make them 300. When you have 300 goats, your eye will now be looking at 1,000 goats. You say, I can take 1,000. Let me get 1,000 goats. Are you seeing it?
Yeah.
And then those goats, like I always say, don't fall in love with your animals. If you fall in love with your farm and your farm animals, it will be difficult to sell them at the end. A goat that is worth 50,000, because you love it, you will not give it out for 70,000. You will not be using money to chase the price, to chase your customers.
Okay.
And so if you have 300 goats, when you're broke or you don't have money to pay your workers, take 2 or 3, sell, get money, pay your bills. That's when to sell, when you're broke.
Okay.
Maybe you have a project going on, you want to invest some money into the project, sell a fraction of your herd, maybe 500 pieces. Or maybe you have 500 pieces, sell 100 pieces, sell 200 pieces, do the project, let the remaining ones give birth to replace the ones you sold. Okay. So you sell when you're broke.
Okay, that's good. I think number 8 question is this.
Yes.
So how do I give price when it is due for selling?
Okay, how do you give price?
Yes.
A farmer does not sell to market people.
Okay.
If you sell to market people, they will not be able to buy from you.
Okay.
They won't be able to buy from you because your price will be very high. A farmer sells to breeders. Just like you are now, you want to start your own farm.
Yeah.
We're going to look for a breeder that can dispose of 50 vaccinated goats. We buy from him and bring to your farm.
Okay.
There you make quality money. Because vaccinated animals are more expensive than non-vaccinated. And vaccinated animals are not slaughter animals. Yeah. They are not animals you're going to kill and eat. Yeah. Except they are getting to expiring dates. They're staying in your farm for 8 years, 9 years, 8 years at most. You say, okay, let me sell them off. They are getting too big now. Because if they are getting too big, they'll begin to have a vaginal prolapse. Sometimes when they want to give birth, their vagina will push out. Okay. Because the vagina have been giving birth, is now weak. The tissues are weak. Yeah. That's the time to sell them off.
Okay.
So,
okay. Thank you very much.
That's that, sir.
Okay, that is question number 9. So what is the proper period is good to start
Yes.
To start a goat farm.
Yes. What is the stocking season?
Yes.
Stocking period. Now, I made a video last year, I think around November last year. I said this is stocking season.
Okay.
And stocking season is between November and March.
Okay.
November, December, January, February, March.
Okay.
And don't even stock in November. Start preparing to stock in November.
Okay.
From December. Goats do well in dry season. That's why you see the people in the northern region that have a lot of dry seasons, they do well in animal farming.
Okay.
While in the south, cold used to murder goats. And there is cold in the south. So don't stock goats when the rain start coming. Okay. Except it's possible for us who are in it for a long time, we can stock goats any season. Because as at now, if 10 goats should die, I don't think it's going to shake me. But when we're starting, if one goat dies, it will give you a high blood pressure. If 50 goats even die now, we will not shake. We understand. Even before he dies, we already know he's going to die. You have seen some signs that, look, this is not working. This guy is going to give up. And some people will sell them off. Are you seeing this? Yeah. But meanwhile, let me say at this point in time, if you're a farmer, don't sell animals you have given antibiotics to. If you give antibiotics to animals, the antibiotics have, it stays in the body for a long time. Sometimes they will tell you, so what's the name of that thing they read to write about on it? Sometimes they'll tell you 28 days after the antibiotics, that's when you can eat the goat. But some people will give antibiotics to goats. The goat will die, they will sell it or they will want to eat it. It's poisonous. Those antibiotics is poisonous to humans. Don't eat any goat that has been given antibiotics for less than 30 days. If they give a goat antibiotics on the 1st, eat that goat on the 30th. Don't eat it any day before 28 days. And don't eat it. It's poisonous. It's toxic. You will eat it today, nothing will happen. But later in the future, as you are getting older, some diseases will be coming out in your body and your body will be malfunctioning.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right.
So this is another question. Said, how many workers do I need to start
your goat farming with? Yes. If you are grazing your animals, you are allowing your animals to go and eat in your compound. You have a big field that you fence around, maybe like 10 acres, 15 acres, 20 acres. You fence it around, either with block or with chain link fence wire. You have your compound, you have the grazing field. One animal can actually take care of 150 animals, or one worker can take care of 150 animals. One can. Because in the morning, all you need to do is open the goats, all of them go out and eat. He will sweep. Are you seeing it? But if you're not having a place for them to go and graze, that your workers will have to sweep and go and bring water, go and bring food, go and be running up and down to attend to the goats. One worker for 50 animals. One worker for 50 animals. By the time your animals get to 70, you employ 2. Because the work will be laborious, especially those on zero grazing. They have to be attending to the animals, put food in this pen, put food in that pen, go up and down and do all that. But if your animals are going out to graze, the guy can actually release them to graze. Before they go far, he will quickly sweep. After they sweep, if you are the type that like people, your workers watching your animal, he can also run back there and go and be watching them. He can even bring them out to go and graze in the morning. And meanwhile, let me say this, your animals go out to graze from 9 a.m. in the morning. They shouldn't come out when there's dew on the grass. That dew means there is still worms on the grass. But when the grass is dry, the worms will fall off to the ground and then the goats will go and eat the grass. But if they eat it when there is water, there are tendencies that they will take in some worms. And then the water will also cut their mouth and give them what we call off. So animals go out to graze when the dew on the grass is dried. Some areas 9 o'clock is dry, some areas 10 o'clock is dried. You let them go out to graze. So one worker can take 50. Why, if you have from 70, you get 2 workers.
Okay, thank you very much. So I said, question number 11. I said, what is their health management?
The health management of a goat. I cannot actually cover that in this video. That question is very big. But the normal small things I can cover is give them clean water, give them good food. Every week, give them multivitamin. Every day, there is a multivitamin you put in their water because a lot of people are not able to get salt lick. Some vet shops don't have it. But there are some, salt lick is one kind of a big round block you keep in their pen, mineral block. They're going to be licking it and get minerals that they are not getting, mineral supplements that they are not getting from the grass like that. But if there's a multivitamin you will have, you'll be adding to their water. That multivitamin contains even more than what is in the mineral block. Because in Nigeria, there's a difference between mineral block and salt lick. And that one that is always red, most times is salt lick. Mineral block, sometimes it will be white, sometimes it will be brownish in color. I think there's a big difference between them. If you have salt lick, it's good, but it's not having enough nutrition in it. 5 mineral block. I think they are selling somewhere around Ibadan. Yes, a friend of mine told me he has at Ibadan. I seen it. So then every week, give them injectable multivitamins. Then vaccinate them regularly when they need vaccination. That's for those that are not having issues. Every morning, observe your animals. In this rainy season, go to the extent of touching their body. Do you know the way you touch your baby's body to check if it's having malaria? That's how you check your goat's body too. If you see anyone running temperature, his body is hot, you know cold is worrying it. You call your vet doctor, Oxitec. Oxitec can help. You give it Oxitec. But if you don't know what to do, call your vet doctor, because if you have a farm, either you have the number of a vet doctor or you have someone who is assisting in giving them injection, or you have people you can call to ask what to give them. I seen it. That's just for normal maintenance. Is it maintenance? You said the daily management. Yes. Now, when some of them are sick, there is another way to manage those ones. Anyone that is having any kind of symptoms that can spread, separate that one. You take it to another pen where it will be there. That one has a way of managing it. You're going to be giving it the drugs that is needing, depends on this symptoms that is showing, or depends on what is wrong with it. But the normal routine management, make sure your workers are sweeping every day. In the morning, the goats will leave where they sleep so that their urine will dry. Then your workers will sweep and get rid of the dung. Once they sweep, they pack it in bags and take it outside the compound. Then they can sell it to people and use that money to do whatever they like. That's their own small things, small money. Good. So they can get that, sell it to farmers and get the money. The farm owner does not have to look at where the shit is going. That is not. He's not
talking about their excrete now.
Excreta, yeah.
Okay.
So
there's the second to the last question I want to ask here is this. He said, what type of equipment do I need to use in their feeding?
Okay. Depends on what you want to do. If you want to be buying dry feed, you don't need any equipment. If you want to be producing your own feed, you will need machines that are compatible to the feed you want to produce. If you want to produce silage, there's a silage machine. If you want to produce hay, there are hay baling machines you use. And even in that hay, producing hay, you need a tractor or something to cut the hay. Depends on how large your farm is. You cut the hay, then you gather it up, you bale it. You put it inside the bale, you press it and you tie it. If you're going to be doing HQCP as we are doing, you need a machine to grind the cassava, a machine to press the water, to dewater it, a machine to also dry it in this dry season. That's what we do. And then so many other people produce different feed. And I think there's a friend in Abuja now, they grind. They get corn. You know when all those people roasting corn, that corn shaft, no, the back, all those leaves at the back of the corn. I don't know what it's called. They gather it together. They'll put it inside a machine. They grind it to powder.
Okay.
When people pluck corn, the stalk, that standing stalk, they cut it and grind it to powder. You know, there are some farms after breaking the corn, the farm will not be dried. They'll go and cut all those dry stuff, grind it to powder. They get fiber from there. Sometimes after they make silage with material, with grasses that produce water, they will mix it with that powder. So they'll sprinkle that powder on their silage. It will mop up the water of the silage. So they do that. I think they have a hammer mill to grind that thing, something that can grind a leaf to powder. And so anything you're having, if you have corn, you can grind it with the normal machine they are using to grind pepper. That one can grind corn. If you need to grind corn to powder. So the machinery you need depends on what you want to produce on the feed section. But I will use this to advise. Don't go for machineries before you start your goat farming. There are a lot of people who had maybe like 5 acres, 5 hectares, 20 hectares. They started by buying tractors. After they started the farm, they now saw that they don't need that tractor again. The tractor is just there rotting away under the mango tree. So if they had rented tractor to just bulldoze everything and then start their farm, it would have been cheaper. The same thing with some other machineries. If you invest in some machineries that are temporary, after you finish using them, you won't need them. Like for us in Animal Paradise now, I bought a post-hole digger. There's a machine that digs hole. Because I wanted to dig the hole for the fence. Dig the hole for posts of the fence. I bought a post-hole digger from China. Since I finished that pen, which was maybe like two months into the farming, this bigger land that we are in, the post-hole digger is there now. It's useless. I'm not going to dig hole in my sitting room.
Yeah.
Are you seeing it? So I would have just paid some outside boys to just dig all those holes for me instead of buying that machine. Are you seeing it? So except the machine is going to be long time in action or long time in service, don't invest money in machineries. It's goats you want to do. Invest money in goats.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think I've heard all you said. And the last but not the least, this one is just a short question which you have explained before. And the question goes like this. Though I just want to use our normal local terms to narrate it.
Yes.
I said, like I said before, like you said before, or like I said before, this Ajebo goat and Paco goat, which one is more sweeter?
Okay.
Yeah, because I believe all those ones that we call the normal dwarf goat, they go out, they walk about, they go to different places to eat, and I believe they get all their
Okay. This is Animal Paradise. That video ended. We're going to merge this one to that video. So if you're watching it, don't be surprised that the thing is not the way I used to make my video. My brother here is asking a question. He said, what is the difference? Does Ajebota goat and Ajepako goat taste the same way? Does market goat and village goat taste the same way as farm goats? That's the question. Yeah. Are they having the same taste? The truth of the matter is, both Boer goats, Nigerian dwarf, Sokoto red, all those goats have the same taste. They are goat meat. The reason why Boer goats and those exotic breed used to be a little bit precious is because of the price you use in transporting them to Nigeria. In South Africa, Boer goat is a common goat. It's not even expensive there. It's just normal goat. The way you have normal goats here, that's how it is there. And then the meat is the same way. There's no difference there. And the same thing with our local goats. Whether the goat is in the village, eating grasses, eating leftover eba, eating burnt rice, eating burnt beans, eating anything in the village, or it's in your farm, eating Baccaria grass, cassava peels, taking multivitamin, those multivitamins will cover up those other things that is lacking. At the end, the result will be the same. The one in the village and the one in the farm will be the same, because what the one in the farm is lacking in feed, it is getting the multivitamin. Why the one in the village does not take multivitamin, but it licks soup. He used to lick soup. He used to eat beans that are sour. They will throw it away. We eat it. And recently we got to understand that sometimes when you finish washing your clothes, give your goat that water you use in washing clothes, that soap water. Give your goat to drink it. It's under herbal remedy. Meanwhile, let me say this. We are having a seminar 29th of this month, which is next week Saturday. It's called Herbal Remedy for Ruminant Farming. And there are some grasses you'll be giving to your goats and things will be okay with them. We'll talk about that in that seminar. If you're interested, call the number that will be showing on this video and send me a message on WhatsApp. I will add you to that seminar. You will learn. There are simple things you can be giving to your goats that will make them be to be healthy and very, very okay. Thank you very much. My brother here doesn't want to show in the camera, so don't ask me why I didn't show him. He doesn't want to show in the camera, but he told you his name already. So this is Animal Paradise. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and then like our page on Facebook. We have Animal Farmers Association on Facebook too. It's a group, you can join it. We have Animal Paradise Farm, a page on Facebook, and like it. We have 2 WhatsApp groups on WhatsApp. We have Animal Paradise Farm WhatsApp group. You can join that. We have Animal Paradise Forum. It's a big group. You can also join that. We have Animal Paradise Mentorship Club. There are experience, there are knowledge we have acquired through experience. If you want to start your own farm, you need that knowledge to guide you so you don't make mistakes. Because we made mistakes when we were starting. And that's what's giving birth to all these YouTube things we are doing. Most of the people who seems to know things that time, they didn't want to share with us. Are you seeing it? They didn't want to share. They just wanted to keep it for themselves. But when we came up, we saw that, okay, let's make this knowledge available for others to learn. So that mentorship club is there. Though you have to register to join the mentorship club, it is not easy to be talking like this. It is not easy. And secondly, the way we do it on YouTube is not the way you do it on real life. Practical is different from theory. Some people will tell you they want to watch YouTube videos. You watch YouTube videos, you get idea, you will not get knowledge. You just have an idea of it. Practically, I'll tell you, deworm your goat every week. There are some goats you will see, you will deworm it on Monday, you have to deworm it on Wednesday. You have to check. There are things you check to see that this goat is due for monthly deworming or weekly deworming or every other day deworming. So practical is different from theory. That's why the Mentorship Club is creating a kind of practical reaching. I can come to your farm if you like. I'm in my brother's farm here. His farm is trying to start. I want to put this in order so that we can kickstart the farm. And if I leave here and I'm going to another farm again to just go check one or two things, practical is always better. Thank you very much. I don't always like my videos to be long. This is Animal Paradise. Bye-bye.